Hi Miriam, thank you as always for uploading your homework and your photo shoot. Just as a quick overview, like I always like to say, fantastic. Really looking forward to going through these pictures. Excellent. You must be really, really happy. Okay, so let's jump in. Boring stuff first, which you've done very well. And it's not that boring as well because it's really the foundation of everything. So you have got a 1.8 lens. This is your widest. The reason why it's widest is because everybody's lens is different. So instead of saying 1.8, because a lot of people don't have a lens that can go to 1.8, I just said widest. So that's 1.8. That is f8, as you've named it f8, and it's f8 there. And that is f22, which you've named f22. Perfect. Excellent. We can see very clearly here that you're focused on the glass, and the mug in the back is very, very blurry. That's a 1.8. As the depth of field gets longer, we can see the mug in the back get sharper. And as we get to 22, basically everything's in focus. Excellent. Well demonstrated. From that, I can clearly see that you understand what's going on with your aperture. Excellent. Okay. This is great. You've done really well. You've nailed the focus. You nailed it. Not so easy with such a camera. That is an excellent picture. That is an excellent picture. I think this one we might take into. She looks like a little bit of a war hero. This one. She's been through. She's been through some bumps and knocks over the recent past. So we can clean them up very quickly in post and definitely enhance the eyes as well. But that is a really great shot. Really. A lot of energy. In regards to just the actual assignment, which is a headshot, okay, it's interesting because you've cropped in much closer here than over here, but that's obvious because our movement is coming in this direction. You see? 1 second. We've got a movement in this direction. Our point of entry is the eyes, and then our movement comes down around here like that, which means we need less space over here than we do over here, and that is a perfectly balanced image. Not only do we have the movement coming in this direction because of her shoulder this way, but we have a slight movement because the light, our eye goes from dark to light. That's the direction our eye takes in regards to the tone. So our eye is moving very slightly in this direction and much stronger in this direction, and you've ended up with a really perfectly balanced image. It's very intelligently composed. Excellent. So it's a complicated composition there. Very good. Excellent. Okay. Now we're at our quarter shot. Okay. Stats are a little wacky. That's okay. Next class is when you start to really understand all these numbers like very clearly. You're drop underexposed and you've just missed the focus. Okay. But in regards to the actual cropping in close, it's fine. It's not as good as the, this is like super intelligent. This is okay. It would be better to have a little bit more room on this side and a little bit less on this side, or maybe just a bit more on this side. It might be you can't crop that off because of the hair, but we've got our movement is coming in this direction, so generally we would want more room on this side. You've cropped in close though. The hair, to crop out the hair is okay, like we learned, or I hope maybe it was you, I don't know, I said this to many people, is the rules for cutting off heads is that the lines have begun to converge. If the lines have begun to converge, then you can cut off. If they haven't begun to converge, for example, the guy's wearing a hat, and you cut off his hat and the hat is going straight up, and you cut off the top of the hat, when you look at that guy, it will look absurd. It will look like his hat just goes up into the sky. So this is fine. Cropping off the hair at the top of this picture is fine. Your demonstration of the sensitivities to the balance of the image and the area, the space in the image is excellent. Very good. And this is excellent. Again, you've missed the exposure drop. It's, what are you shooting at? You are an aperture priority. So look, what I suggest, please do this, you'll appreciate this very much, is after the 7th class, go back to these two pictures. Make some kind of note that when you get to the 7th class, look at these two pictures and you will understand why they are underexposed. You are shooting an aperture priority, partial metering, which meant your partial metering circle is over here. Okay, that's going to go back. So go back once you get to class 7 and you'll go, oh, now I know. Okay, for me to explain it right now would not be a good use of our time. Okay, Excellent. Let's get into your photo shoot. This is excellent. This is excellent photography. Okay, you've just done class 4. So did you learn, 1 second, let me just see if you learned. Oh, you didn't do barrel distortion because you don't have a lens that will allow you to do that. That's okay. The 3 questions you're going to learn next week. The answers to the 3 questions, which are what shall I set my aperture, shutter speed, and ISO to, and the answers are, you'll see. In regards to your stats here, the ISO could be 200 and you could be at 1600th of a second. You haven't gotten there yet, so you'll see that. Your drop underexposed, again, I think, yeah, you're still an aperture priority. Okay, drop underexposed. But again, the sensitivities are very lovely. I appreciate that you cropped off this, the bow over here. Sorry about that. Like I was saying, I appreciate that you cropped off the bow. It's not necessary. You're a little bit. See, it's just a little dog, which could be very easily fixed in Lightroom. Let's see. Maybe we'll take this one to Lightroom. Maybe not. We'll see. Let's move on for right now. Okay, this is great. This is great. Okay, stats. Where are we holding? You're in class 4. So the stats are not perfect. You could be at 200, but you're going to learn in the next class really is when you really understand the stats perfectly. But the actual composition is lovely. It really is. You've left. I personally would maybe crop a teeny weeny bit of room, just a teeny little bit, but really not much at all. I feel like the look on the kid is. It needs the air, it needs the space of what you've left. You know, we always talk about cropping in close, but you can see this picture, it's too kind of airy. The look is too kind of like airy to crop in so close. So I feel that that's the, I feel that this is a good crop. Okay, the coloration, there's a couple of issues. It's underlit. So you can see that her cheeks, the top of her cheeks are darker than the underside of her cheeks. Okay, that's weird. It's weird as in, it's weird as in we're not used to looking at a face where the light is coming from under. Always in the world, in the natural world, light is coming from above. Okay, it's very rare that light's coming from below. So when a face is lit from below, it looks a little bit weird. It's subtle. It's not such a big deal, but the tint as well is also to do with the light reflecting from this warm coloured wood that's leaving a warm colour on her face, a warm colour cast. The actual composition is very powerful. We have a strong triangle over here. And in regards to it being a balanced image, it could be that we could do with a teeny weeny little bit more room at the bottom, but it doesn't really make such a difference. Excellent. Also, another great shot. Very nice. I would crop in a little bit closer here. Again, demonstrating your sensitivities to the directions of the image and the balance of the image. This tree, interestingly enough, I think actually helps the balance of the image a little bit. I'd have to see it without actually. I'm not sure if that's a true comment that I just made. Again, the light on her now is actually a little bit better than the light in this situation. She's turned into the space, which is nice, gives us a nice feeling of balance. She's on the 3rd here. Stats, again, go back to this next class and you'll see that you could have improved the stats a little bit. But excellent photography. Great. So here you've just missed the focus. Yeah, you see the focus is over here on the finger in the foreground, which means she's just a little soft. That's the kind of picture that you look at and you go, oh, because it's great. It's an excellent picture. It's just, we just really wanted it to be sharp and you just missed it. It's difficult. And it takes the P word, practice. There is no other way. There's no other way. These kinds of shots take serious practice. It's a knack. It's a skill. You have to know where to focus. You have to know how to not move forward, backwards. Exactly. It's nuances, and you'll get used to it and you'll get better at it. But that is an excellent picture. You just missed the focus. Everything else is great. Great expression, set up, perfect background. I think it would probably be better if she was just in the frame, if she wasn't just cropped off there, but it's not such a big deal. But again, the sensitivity to the direction's great. Lots of energy, balance, excellent. Oh, that's a great shot as well. This is really a special picture. This is very special. I love this. I would crop in. What I want to do is I'm going to do this. Maybe we'll take this one into post. What's with the focus? Again, the focus. Maybe it's something with the camera. Can't find focus. But it's definitely, she's definitely a little soft there. I think the focus is a little bit forward. I'm not sure if it's something to do with the camera or you move forward or something like that. But again, it's another one of those pictures. The truth is, it's not such a big deal that it's not so sharp. It's a very beautiful. Let's just assume that it was perfectly crisp, sharp. It's a beautiful picture. It's the having gone through the trees here, giving this pastel over, like this washy pastel overlay. Makes it airy and bright and adds a lot of graphical interest. It makes the image exciting. We've got movement from the mother moving into the child. That's great. We've got a good gaze from the kid looking straight into the camera. A lot of energy, a lot of energy. This is a feast for the eyes, this image. Excellent, well seen and well executed. Stats, by the way, are perfect. Could be at 200 ISO at 1,000th of a second. You'll see for next class, but basically perfect. What should we take into Lightroom? Let's take this one into. Let's take this was the killer shot. Let's take this one into Lightroom. What should we take into Photoshop? Let's take it into Photoshop to just show you how we get rid of these different blemishes. It's quite straightforward. So I press Alt and wheel my mouse to zoom in. Okay, now the easiest way, again, this is going to be a little bit above you, I think, until you see the Photoshop class, but I'm going to give you, once you've seen the Photoshop class, you'll be able to get back to this. I'm going to give you the easy way of doing this, but not the best way. Okay, so we are going to go to a filter, we are going to go to blur, to Gaussian blur, and we are going to blur the skin until we see that we've lost the blemishes. Obviously, this picture has now been rendered useless, but you'll see what we're going to do. Okay, so now we're going to click this little thing here. This is our history brush tool. We're going to go back to here in our history. Now, when I paint with, this is my history brush tool over here, when I paint on the image, what it's going to do is going to go back to this step in history. So this step was completely blurry, the entire image. Now, I'm going to use a paintbrush to paint what would have been in that situation in those few steps forward with the history. Do you see? So now I'm just putting these little marks in, and we can just very easily press space and it will allow me to move around. And let's just zoom in here a little closer. So here I'm going to go for my what's it called, my spot healing brush tool. A small line there, it should, there we go, perfect. That's a little bit hit and miss, but over here it worked fine. And let's just have a look from before and after. Oh, to here. And let's now take this, let's save this as it is, and then we're going to take it into Lightroom. I much prefer editing images in Lightroom than on Photoshop. Let's have a look now. Okay, let's turn it around. Excellent. We'll save and we'll open with Adobe Lightroom. Import. Develop. Okay, now for sure we need to enhance her eyes. Let's choose Iris Enhance. Again, if I press spacebar, it allows me to zoom in. Press spacebar again, it allows me to move the picture. This is great. Just again, subtle. Remember that word subtle. Keep that pasted in the middle of your mind. Let's have a look. Just look at the difference there. I actually want to go a little bit further with these eyes. There we go. That's great. Excellent. Wow. Okay, and I think I'm going to just do a little bit of a skin smooth as well. I've got one here, soften skin, but not as much as it is. And now, just to... There we go. Oh, perfect. Perfect. And I think I'm going to just brighten her face, her entire face, just a teeny little drop. Oh, don't want to do that. 1 second. Go back in my history. I don't want auto mask. Okay, and we're going to go down to 0. And now we're going to just go up. There we go, just like that. That's what I wanted to do. And I think I'm going to use my my radial tool to just darken the edges just slightly, keeping the face nice and bright. Invert. I think we're going to add a slight warmth as well, just a teeny little bit of warmth. There we go. Just like that. So we went, not including the blemishes, but from there to there, let's just get rid of our marks. Gorgeous. Beautiful picture. Okay, Miriam, excellent. Keep up the good work and looking forward to seeing what you do for us next week. All the best.